I built an empire to keep the chaos out. But then I found him, hiding under a booth in my own restaurant. He was covered in dirt, clutching a stone that seemed to have a heartbeat. He looked at me with eyes that had seen too much. Then he whispered something that stopped my heart. He asked if I could still hear the footsteps outside my window. He pulled out a map of my own home. It was marked with lines that looked like fresh bruises. He said the creature was waiting for me to let it back in. I wanted to call for help, but I couldn't move. The totem in his hand started to hum. The lights flickered like a heart beating in the dark. He told me how the creature had been taking people I knew. My head chef, my brother, they were all gone. A cold knot of dread tightened in my stomach. The city felt different, like it wasn't my home anymore. Elias watched the mirror, tracking something I couldn't see. He held the stone up, casting strange shadows in the car. My penthouse didn't feel like a sanctuary anymore. Elias drew a circle of sand around the stone. He said the creature was already inside, waiting for me. I sat in the circle and let my memories come back. I remembered the cold and the promise I made to the trees. Then I heard it, a wet clicking sound from the kitchen. The creature stepped out of the shadows. It looked just like me, mimicking every move I made. It wanted me to give up, to let it take everything. I grabbed the stone and felt a surge of power. The creature shrieked as I pushed back with everything I had. Then there was a flash of light, and it was finally over. Elias was gone, leaving nothing but a small pile of damp pine needles. I stood up, my body aching like I'd been running for miles. The city lights were coming back on, returning to their normal frantic rhythm. I sold the business the next week. I liquidated everything and walked away from the life I'd spent decades building. I didn't go to another city. I just packed a bag and took the totem. I drove back toward the place where the paved roads end. I knew I couldn't outrun the wild anymore. The road stretched out, winding into the dark mountains. As I reached the reservation, the wind whipped through the pines. For the first time, I didn't hear a threat in the leaves. I heard a welcome. I stepped out, the gravel crunching under my boots. I looked into the dark forest. I knew the creature was out there, but it didn't matter. I wasn't running anymore. I was finally coming home. My name isn't in the corporate registries anymore. I'm a ghost in the woods now. I learned the only way to survive the unseen is to become part of it. Warning: if you're walking trails where the silence is too loud and you feel something following you home, don't hide in the city lights. Stop, listen, and ask what you're really running from. The woods don't forget. They're always waiting for you to return to where your secrets began. Those footsteps outside your window are just the beginning. It's a conversation that loops back to the moment you looked beneath the table. You realized you were never alone. The cycle never ends. It just waits. I'm finally home, and the forest is waiting. The debt is paid, but the journey has only just begun. I'm the tracker now, and the shadows are my only company. The forest floor is a tapestry of decay and ancient life. I walk slowly, feeling the weight of the city finally lifting. Every step feels like a reclamation of a part of myself. I reach a clearing where the trees seem to lean inward. The light here is different, filtered through a thick canopy. I stop and listen, waiting for the forest to speak. I pull the obsidian totem from my pocket. It doesn't pulse with the same frantic rhythm anymore. It feels alive, a steady hum that resonates with the trees. The wind picks up, carrying the scent of ozone and rain. I look up and see the shadows shifting between the pines. I am not afraid because I finally understand the truth. I find the old boundary marker, a stone cairn. It is overgrown with moss and lichen. I place my hand on the cold stone, feeling the history. The silence of the woods is no longer a predatory lie. It is a profound, deep peace that settles into my bones. The shadow walker was just waiting for me to stop running. I walk further into the deep, dark expanse. I am a ghost in the woods now. The trees seem to part from me, acknowledging my return. If you ever find yourself walking these trails, listen to the silence. It isn't empty. It is full of the things we try to outrun. Don't be afraid of the footsteps you hear behind you. The woods don't forget, and they are always waiting. It is a cycle that only ends when you stop running. I am finally home, and the forest is waiting for you too. The obsidian totem rests on the forest floor. It pulses one last time, a rhythmic heartbeat. The journey is over, but the conversation has only just begun. I'm standing at the edge of the reservation, watching the sun dip low. The air here is sharp and clean, smelling like damp earth and pine. It feels like the world finally stopped spinning, and I'm just standing still. The gravel crunches under my boots as I leave the car behind. I don't look back at that sedan. It feels like a relic now. The forest ahead is a wall of shadow, but it doesn't feel like a threat. I pull the obsidian totem out, feeling its cold weight in my palm. It's quiet now, no longer humming with that frantic, artificial pulse. It's just a stone, a piece of the earth I'm bringing back home. The wind whips through the pines, a sound I used to fear. But now it just sounds like a welcome. I close my eyes and let the rhythm of the forest wash over me. I know the creature is still out there, lurking in the mountain shadows, but it doesn't matter anymore. I'm not running from the wilderness. I'm finally coming home to face it. My name isn't in the corporate registries anymore. I'm a ghost in the woods now. I've learned that to survive the unseen, you've got to become a part of it. If you're walking trails where the silence is just too loud, and you feel something following you home, don't hide in the city lights. Just stop, listen, and ask yourself what you're really running from. The woods don't forget. They're always waiting for you to return. It's a loop that only ends when you stop running and face the dark. I'm finally home, and the forest is waiting for you too. Those footsteps outside your window are just the start of a conversation. It's a conversation that loops back to the moment you looked under the table and realized you were never really alone. I walk into the deep, dark woods, the totem in my hand. The path ahead is uncertain, but I'm not afraid anymore. I'm finally ready to listen to what the forest has to say. I'm standing at the old boundary line again. It's been years since I've been back here. The air smells like pine and old memories. The totem feels different in my hand now. It's not scary anymore, just heavy. It's finally at rest. I'm walking deeper into the woods now. The ground is soft under my boots. My old life is just a fading dream. The wind is picking up, whispering through the trees. I'm stopping to listen to the sound. It sounds like it's echoing my own heart. I found a clearing in the trees. There's an old circle marked on the ground. I'm stepping inside, and everything feels clear. I'm sitting down in the center of the circle. The ground is cold, but it feels right. I'm closing my eyes and waiting for what comes next. The shadows are getting longer now. I hear that clicking sound again. It's not a threat. It's a call. I opened my eyes and saw the void. It's not a monster. It's a mirror. I'm looking at it with understanding. I'm channeling everything into the stone. The darkness is collapsing now. Everything is silent. The light is fading now. The creature is gone. I'm finally home. The forest air feels different tonight. It's clean, and for the first time in years, I'm not running. The totem is just a stone now. Its pulse is gone, so I'm leaving it here. I'm heading back now. Every step feels lighter than the one before. The sun's finally coming up. The trees look like they're watching over me now. This card doesn't belong out here. It's just another piece of the life I'm leaving behind. I'm not looking back. The road ahead is finally mine. The city's fading away. These mountains, they feel like home again. I'm home. I don't need to be anyone else anymore. The creature's still out there, but I'm not running anymore. I'm finally part of the woods now. The conversation is finally coming to an end. I'm standing at the edge of the deep woods. The air is thick with the smell of pine and earth. It feels like the trees are waiting for me. The path ahead is narrow and overgrown. I remember this trail from when I was a kid. I'm not gonna let the shadows get to me. I found the old stone marker for the reservation. It's cracked and weathered, just like my memories. I'm taking a second to just breathe. The trees are getting thicker and weirder. The wind in the pines sounds like someone's calling my name. There's no turning back now. I found this creepy, still pool of water. It's like a black mirror reflecting the sky. I keep waiting for something to look back at me. The sun's going down, and the shadows are getting long. I gotta find a spot to camp before it's pitch black. The whole forest feels like it's humming. I'm clearing a spot under this old pine tree. It's soft enough for a bed, I guess. I'm just gonna sit here and listen to the woods. It's totally dark out here now. The moonlight is barely cutting through the trees. I'm cold, but I'm not feeling lonely anymore. The city feels like a dream I had a long time ago. Everything here is just so simple. I'm just waiting to see what happens next. I hear that clicking sound again. My eyes are open, and I'm not scared. I know what's out there, and I'm ready. I stand up slowly, my joints aching from the cold ground. The clicking sound has stopped, replaced by a silence so profound it feels heavy. I reach into my pocket, my fingers brushing against the cold, smooth surface of the totem. I pull the totem out, and it begins to pulse with that familiar rhythmic light. The forest seems to react to its presence, the branches swaying as if caught in a sudden gale. I hold it steady, refusing to let the fear take hold of my hands. A figure emerges from the dense brush, its form shifting like smoke. It doesn't have a face, just a void where features should be. Yet I feel its gaze fixed firmly on me, mimicking my posture. The clicking sound returns, louder and more frantic, echoing off the trees. I realize the creature is trying to synchronize with my heartbeat. I take a deep breath and focus on the totem's pulse instead. The creature lunges, its form tearing through the air like a jagged wound. I don't flinch, but instead thrust the obsidian totem forward. The air around us begins to warp, the light from the totem expanding. A shriek, not of a beast, but of tearing reality, rips through the forest. The light consumes everything, turning the night into a blinding white void. For a moment, I am nowhere, suspended in the space between my past and my future. When the light fades, the forest is silent again, the air cool and still. I am alone on the forest floor, the obsidian totem lying dull and cold. The creature is gone, and with it, the suffocating weight that had been pressing down. I stand up, my body aching, and look up at the canopy. The trees no longer look like reaching fingers, but like guardians. I pick up the totem, feeling its weight, and start the long walk back. Driving away from the reservation, I watch the trees blur past the window. I've left the corporate world behind, and for the first time, I feel like I'm moving towards something real. The road ahead is long, but I'm finally in the driver's seat. I pull over at a scenic overlook, the vast wilderness stretching out before me. I hold the obsidian totem one last time, then tuck it away. I'm no longer running from the past, but walking into a future I've claimed. The silence of the woods is no longer a threat. It's a welcome. I sold the business the next week. I liquidated the assets and closed the accounts. Walking away felt like shedding a heavy, suffocating skin. I packed a single bag. I took the obsidian totem with me. I drove back toward the place where the paved roads end. I reached the edge of the reservation. The wind whipped through the pines. I didn't hear a threat in the rustling leaves. I heard a welcome. I stepped out of my car. The gravel crunched under my boots. I looked into the deep, dark expanse of the forest. I wasn't running anymore. My name is no longer in the corporate registries. I am a ghost in the woods now. I learned that to survive the unseen, you have to become a part of it. If you find yourself on those trails, and you feel something following you home, don't try to hide in the city lights. Stop, listen, and ask yourself what you're running from. The woods don't forget. They're waiting for you to return to where your secrets began. It's where the footsteps outside your window are just the beginning. It's a conversation that loops back to that moment. You looked beneath the tingle and realized you were never alone. I stand in the clearing. I accept the debt I owe to the trees. The silence is a truth I've finally learned to speak. I am home. The story doesn't end here. It continues in the shadows, waiting for the next person who tries to outrun their origins. I'm walking deeper into these woods now. The air feels heavy, like it's holding its breath. It's like I'm walking back into my own past. This totem in my pocket, it's actually warm. It's like it's got a heartbeat of its own. I don't need a map. The woods are showing me the way. I found it. the clearing from my memories. There's a circle of stones right in the middle. It's like the forest has been waiting for me to come back. I'm stepping inside the circle now. Everything just went completely silent. I'm putting the totem down, and the ground is shaking. The shadows are starting to move, taking shape. I see him, standing there at the edge of the trees. It's my grandfather, looking at me with so much sadness. The debt wasn't about money. It was about me. I left a part of myself behind in the dirt. I'm letting go of everything I used to be. The totem is glowing. It's so bright. The shadows are screaming and fading away. I can feel the weight finally lifting off me. Everything is quiet again. He's gone, and the shadows are back in their place. I feel a peace I haven't known in 30 years. I'm heading back to the car now. The trees don't feel like a threat anymore. I'm not afraid of the dark. Not anymore. I'm leaving it all behind for good. I'm a ghost in these woods now. The conversation with the wilderness has only just begun. The road back to the city feels endless. I keep checking the totem on the seat. It's finally quiet, but the forest still clings to me. Back in the garage, the lights are buzzing. It's a different world here, so sterile and quiet. I just sit for a minute and breathe. The elevator ride feels like it's taking forever. Each floor takes me further from the woods. I don't even recognize the guy in the reflection. The place feels so empty now. Everything is just as I left it. The silence is really heavy in here. Finally, a drink that doesn't taste like fear. The city lights look like dying stars out there. It's a nice view, but it's just empty. Time to start tearing it all down. It's just paper and numbers in the end. None of this matters anymore. Just a rock now, I guess. A souvenir from a nightmare. I can still feel the weight of that promise. One bag is all I need. Leaving the suits and the life behind. This place feels like a museum now. Time to go. I'm not looking back this time. Ready for whatever's waiting in the dark. The road is long, but I know the way. The forest is calling me back. I'm finally ready to face it all. The highway stretches out before me, a ribbon of asphalt cutting through the encroaching darkness. I watch the city lights fade in the rearview mirror, feeling the weight of my past life finally lifting. The air inside the car feels different now, like a threshold to something ancient. I reach over to the passenger seat, my fingers brushing against the cold, jagged surface of the obsidian totem. It doesn't hum or pulse anymore, just resting there like a dormant piece of volcanic glass. It's a strange comfort, knowing that the debt is paid and the creature is no longer tethered to my shadow. The trees begin to thin, revealing the familiar, rugged landscape of the reservation borders. I pull the car onto the gravel shoulder, the crunch of stones under the tires sounding like a welcome home. I step out, the cool night air hitting my face with the scent of pine and damp earth. I stand there for a long moment, listening to the wind rustling through the branches. It's not the predatory sound I used to fear, but a rhythmic, whispering invitation. I realize that I've spent my whole life running from this, only to find that the wilderness was waiting for me to return all along. I walk toward the tree line, my boots sinking into the soft, mossy ground. The shadows here are deep, but they don't feel like they're reaching for me anymore. I am a ghost in these woods, a tracker who finally understands that the only way to survive the unseen is to become a part of it. Warning: if you ever find yourself walking these trails and the silence starts to feel too loud, don't try to hide in the light of the city. Stop, listen, and ask yourself what it is that you are really running from. The woods don't forget, and they are always waiting for you to return. The secrets began here, in the place where the footsteps pacing outside your bedroom window are only the beginning of a conversation you can never truly end. It's a loop, a cycle that always leads back to the moment you first dared to look beneath the table and realized you were never alone. I look up at the canopy, the stars barely visible through the thick branches. I'm home now, and for the first time in my life, I don't feel the need to look over my shoulder. The wilderness has claimed its debt, and in return, it has given me a strange, hollow peace. The forest is alive with sounds I never noticed before. The rustle of leaves, the snap of twigs, the distant call of an owl. It's a language I'm just beginning to learn, a conversation that will last for the rest of my days. I take a deep breath, letting the cold air fill my lungs. I am no longer the man who built an empire on marble and glass. I am a tracker, a ghost, a part of the wild that I once tried to outrun. The darkness is no longer a threat. It is a sanctuary, and I am finally, truly home. I found this little clearing where the moon hits the ground just right. It feels like a place that's been waiting for me to show up. I'm just sitting here, finally letting go of everything. This stone used to feel like a heavy weight in my hand. Now it's just a reminder of how far I've come. I'm finally at peace with the debt I owed. Listen to the trees moving in the wind. It's like they're breathing with me. I finally understand what they've been trying to tell me. This suit doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I'm done playing the part of the corporate guy. It's time to leave the old life behind for good. Every step I take feels more natural than the last. I'm not scared of the dark anymore. I'm just following where the woods want me to go. The shadows are moving in a way I've never seen before. It's like they're welcoming me back home. I finally see that I was the one fighting myself all along. This water is freezing, but it feels so good. It's like it's washing away the last of my old life. I'm finally awake. I don't even recognize the guy in the reflection. He looks tired, but he's finally free. I'm glad he's gone. I know this path like the back of my hand. It's like my feet remember where to go. I'm finally back where I belong. I'm finally here. The air feels different, cleaner somehow. I'm ready for whatever comes next. I'm finally standing at the edge of the reservation. The air feels different here, heavy with pine and history. I'm taking that first step back into the wild. The trees are so thick, they almost block out the sky. My feet seem to know exactly where they're going. Every step I take feels like a heartbeat in the quiet. I pull the totem out of my pocket. It's actually warm, like it's waking up to the woods. It catches the moonlight in such a strange way. The shadows here feel like they're actually watching me. I stop to listen to the wind in the pines. It doesn't sound like a threat anymore. It sounds like a welcome. I found the old stone marker from when I was a kid. I used to think this was the edge of the world. It's just a reminder of how hard I tried to run away. The path is getting steeper as I head for the ridge. The air is getting thin and cold up here. I'm not even tired. I've got this weird energy pushing me forward. I look back, but the city is completely gone. All I can see is the forest stretching out under the stars. It's beautiful, but in a way that makes my old life feel like a dream. I sit down on a rock and just listen to the silence. I'm waiting for the next part of this conversation. I know it's out here, but I'm not running anymore. I hear that clicking sound again, coming from the trees. I don't flinch, and I don't reach for anything. I just turn around to face whatever's finally caught up to me. The shadows are shifting into something that looks like me. It's not a monster. It's just all the stuff I tried to bury. I stand up and get ready to finish this conversation. The creature lunges, a swirling void of shadow. I hold my ground, the totem steady in my hand. The air thickens with the scent of ozone and earth. I pour every regret I've held into the stone. The totem pulses with a blinding, sickly light. The creature shrieks as it recoils from the energy. A silent shockwave ripples through the trees. The forest is bathed in an unnatural, stark brilliance. The light collapses, pulling the creature into the void. The forest is silent. The shadows are harmless again. The creature is gone and the weight has lifted. I stand alone, my body aching, but the air feels clean. Elias is gone, leaving only a pile of pine needles. There's no trace of the boy or the circle. He was never just a child, but a bridge to the truth. I walk back to my car, the gravel crunching under my boots. I look out into the forest one last time. The creature is out there, but it doesn't matter. I'm home. My name is gone from the corporate registries. I've traded my penthouse for a life in the woods. I'm a ghost in the trees, finally belonging. Warning, if you feel something following you home, don't hide. Stop, listen, and ask what you're running from. The woods don't forget. They're always waiting. The footsteps are just the start of a conversation. It's a loop that leads back to the truth. The wilderness is a part of you that demands to be seen. I step into the forest, ready for what's waiting. The wind whispers through the pines, a welcome home. I'm a tracker of the unseen, finally at peace.